Hello, this is Miss Lambert. How are you guys doing? I know it's late, and you guys know I don't usually do videos on Thursday night, but we were going over some things today, and I want to just kind of touch bases before I have to do it on Sunday or Saturday night. I wanted to do it tonight. So on the test, there will be some questions on there about spelling. It won't say, can you spell this, A, B, C, D, or, multiple choice questions like that, but it will have words that are similar that you might get tripped up with. And one of the words is cognito. Cognito. I did put that in the book, so you guys got that in my book, okay? And the other word is congenital. So watch those two words. They're completely different. The congenital could be genes or something that's inherited, a congenital disorder or something like that. Cognital is a mental disorder. That's when a person can't think, or a person, it's hard for the person to make a decision, or, sometimes you say things to this person and it doesn't bother the person. We mentioned something like that before about sometimes you say things to people and they're just straight face. They like have no emotion. They don't know what to say, they're just kind of straight face. But that word is cognitive. So watch out for those two words, cognitive and congenital. The other word that I found today, which I didn't found, we use them all the time. This one is perineum. Perineum, and the other word that sounds like that is purpurium. Perineum is Perineum. The other one is Puerperium. Now, how close is that? Okay, so watch the spelling on perineum. Okay, the perineum is between the anus and the scrotum in men. The perineum is between the anus and the vulva in women. It's like between your pubic bone and your coccus bone, your tailbone. Remember we were talking about the coccus bone back there? We were talking about something one day last week. So they both sound the same. Okay, the perineum and the purpurium. Watch those two words because they may give you multiple choice or something like that. They may be different words. I'm pretty sure I'll come up with some more as we go, or I'll spot some as we go. But watch those words, okay? And don't forget the cognitive and the congenital. Watch those two as well. And this one too. CKD and also ESRD. The CKD, chronic kidney disease. The ESRD is end-stage renal disease. Don't get those mixed up. They are two totally different things. Yes, they are adnexa. They are adnexa. They are metastasized. They connect. One might metastasize in the other one, or you may have the other one first, or XYZ. But one is much more invasive than the other one. So just watch those. You guys look up that, okay? They may say which one is which, or, what's the code, N118. Look it up. I don't have all that stuff in front of me, but I have to throw this out there to you guys. Because some of my students, some of y'all are getting ready to take that test. So, keep that in mind. Watch those words. I'm also going to give you this question. Now, this question may be on a test, may not be on a test, or it may be something similar. Okay, it might throw you for a fickle. I'm gonna give you the question. Don't put the question out in the classroom. Okay, just send it to me in the email. Let me see what kind of answer y'all are going to give me. Okay, I'm gonna give you the question that I want you to answer. Okay, a little boy and his mom were presented to the ED. Okay, the child had a quarter stuck in his throat in his esophagus, in his windpipe, okay, in his trachea. That's the same thing. He was having difficulty breathing. What did the physician do? What type of procedure did the physician do? A, did he do a tracheostomy? Tracheostomy and tracheotomy is the same thing. Open it up. Open up the throat. Okay. B, did he give the child a laxative to try to get it out? C, Did he do endoscopy to try to manipulate the quarter down? Okay, so tell me which one it is. Tell me which one you think it is. And tell me how long it's going to take you to decipher what it is. Remember, stick to the question. Stick to the question. This is where your medical terminology is going to come in at. This is where it's going to come in at. If I said a little boy and his mom were presented to the ED, the ED is what? The emergency department. The emergency department is supposed to be for what? Life or death situations, emergency situations. The man is bleeding to death or something. Somebody can't breathe. Pay attention to the question. Okay? The child had a quarter stuck in his throat, esophagus, trachea, windpipe. Okay? He was having difficulty breathing. This is where you need to retain your medical terminology. Okay? Because all kind of stuff is going to come into your head. Okay? Did he do a tracheostomy? And you're going, oh my God, a baby or a little boy? Did they give him a laxative? How would they do that? His throat messed up. Right? Did they do an endoscopy? Why? So send me the email, or if you send it to me through the classroom, that's fine, but just send it to me. Don't send it to the whole classroom. Some of you guys are in the other classroom. I just created the Sapphire classroom, but you guys can still go into the other classroom. That's fine. I have over 60 files in there and that I have not finished yet. So when I finish those files, you guys will be able to go into that classroom. Okay? So those things I did wanted to touch bases on tonight. It's 6 minutes in and 49. See, I said 15 minutes. I always go over. Okay? So that's what I wanted to touch bases on. And also, I did want to mention something about mommies, women over 30, women over 35, or between 34 and 35, who are with child. We call that like, what do we call it? Geriatric pregnancy or prima gravida. That means a woman between the ages of 34 and 35 with child. Sometimes it takes that person maybe longer to heal, even though the person is more developed, the person's body is more mature, the person's body is more developed to hold this baby. A person who's 30, 35, they may not get any sickness. They're less likely to get sick rather than somebody who has had a baby maybe 19 or 18 years old. But a person who has had a baby maybe 18 or 19 years old, their body will bounce back for much faster than a person who is much older. It may take a while longer than a younger person, because you have to remember the baby is in there pushing all those organs around, because that baby has to have room to grow. So it takes time for your body to get back to its normal size. Your uterus, your stomach, everything. And everybody's different. So just be precarious of that. It's like, between 34 and 35, it's called, advanced age, or, something like that. And when they say geriatric pregnancy, that's just a word for it, that, the person is like between 34 and 35 years old. So just be precarious of that. I just wanted to kind of throw that out there. That word, prima gravida, you might see that on your test. I'm going to throw out some exercises probably next week in the new classroom. So just kind of be precarious of that. But watch those words, especially the word when I say windpipe, trachea, throat. That's all the same thing. So, just kind of watch that, okay? This over here we talked about last week. But I definitely wanted to just kind of throw that at you about those words that are the same, that medical terminology that seems the same. Get your language and medicine book and read that stuff. In the classroom, those of you who were in the classroom before, you guys know that the language and medicine book is in there. I've downloaded that book, I don't know, probably in 2015 or 2013. But that book has not changed much. It's just medical terminology that's in there. I'm going to leave that book in there for you guys to look at. So just be precarious of that. A lot of people are asking me about the new class. I'm just beginning to develop that new Sapphire class. But I do have other classes in there from prior students that you guys can go into. The stuff that I'm putting in the new class is just 2020 stuff, more new stuff that I'm putting in there. But in order for you to get into classroom, I need to send you an email, and you will receive a user ID and a password to get into the classroom. That password will expire within 30 days, and you will have to get another one from me to get into the classroom. And that's just the way it's set up. When you guys do get my book, look in the back of the book. The fee schedule is in the book. The classes is 80 hours, is $450. You guys can pick a down payment of $75. You also can make hourly payments depending on what you guys are taking. I'm going to figure out how I'm going to do the one-on-ones with you guys, so that I can kind of work around you guys' schedule. Now, you guys can see I do work during the day. Okay, so yeah, I was kind of counting down the days today. I was just ready to go. But normally, you know, I'm not like that. I'm upstairs with the girls, and we're kind of doing what we got to do. But I was just ready to go home today. So just kind of be precarious of those things. Some of you all know that I'm going to an AAPC convention in April at Disney World. I wish I could take somebody with me, but you can't take anybody with you. You have to be educated. But I'm gonna take a lot of pictures while I'm out there. I'm gonna put them on Facebook. But I want you guys to keep up with your studies. Keep up with your studies, and don't get discouraged if you do not pass. Which I hate saying if you do not pass, but some people, when they don't pass a test, it's like, yeah, I don't hear from them again. They don't even want to do the class no more once if they fail. God forbid. But I have had plenty that passed, so just be prepared to that. But watch those words. AAPC will give you some multiple choice questions that look the same. They sound the same. You hear them in your mind. They look the same. And remember, stay in a physician state of mind. Stay in a medical state of mind, because that's the only way you're going to get the right answer. Practice, practice, practice. I want you guys to practice, because you're going to have to start timing yourself. Once we start actually doing the layouts and the, I get the lectures. I got the times for the lectures and everything of you guys, because some of you guys are already coming in on the live lectures. Just keep emailing me, and I'll let you know when those lectures are. Because when we do the live lectures, you guys can archive those lectures as well. Because I can see you guys, we're talking and everything, but you guys can archive, look on whenever you want to. But there's so much other stuff that you are going to have to retain and do. The medical billing, of course, the coding and a lot of other stuff. But, you got to take baby steps before you take the big steps. So take the baby steps. Get my book so you guys can see what's in there. Because a lot of stuff that's in there, I kind of broke it down. Like how I'm telling you about the words might be the same. Those type of tips is what I put in my book. I'm going to start the second book very soon, but I need y'all to start just getting used to what's in the first book, because you guys want to just jump into, like the big book, and you're asking me stuff that's already in the little book. So everybody's on a different level. Everybody's on a different level. So the different files that I have in the classroom are for different levels. Some of you guys are more advanced. Some of you guys are beginners. So my beginners, I want you guys all to stick together, because there's a lot more to explain. Sometimes I'm on YouTube and I'm just rambling on. Sometimes I'm just, because you guys know how I am already. I'm not going to do the word for word. At least I try not to do the word for word. I can't remember everything. I got to hit the book at some point. But definitely watch those words. I was trying to think and see if I could remember any other those words right off the hand. I can't right now, but just pay attention to that. The vulva and the uterus, vagina and stuff like that. Pay attention to that, because the vagina is broken up in just so many, so many different areas. Labia, menorah. I mean, that's on your chest. So we're gonna go over that, but just be precarious of that. Look in my book. Some of that stuff is in there, so you guys can get used to it. I'm going to sign off now, but those 3 or 4 that I gave you, just be precarious of it. And what we talked about as far as the prima gravida, that might be on the chest. There's more than that. I think I put it in my book because there's more than that on there as far as that. So I want you guys to just kind of watch that. And don't worry, we'll get through it. I'm gonna sign off now. I'll see you guys Saturday.